Welcome back to Collectors versus Creators podcast. I'm your tired ass host, JG Collects, and happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody had a safe holiday, a fun holiday, and if you were like me, a sick one. But today, I got a special guest. I got a con owner. I also got a manga creator. He is a very dope young brother, man. I got Quan, man. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe for him. How's it going today, bro?
Good, man. Can't complain. Bless.
Yes, man. What area you holding down, man?
So I'm in Arizona.
Yeah, shout out to Arizona, man. I know you're on a different time zone, so I appreciate you being here early with me today. And how long you been in watching anime?
Damn, man. Since Toonami was out,
Shout out to
honestly, man. I
Nam.
think, yeah, man. Like, I got put on just watching DBZ. It was between, like, when Toonami was on, it was between, like, DBZ and One Piece. And I just hopped on the DBZ train. And now 1,000 episodes later, One Piece done left me behind. But yeah, man, that was like my my little gateway anime right there.
Yeah, man. Like DBZ was the gateway to a lot of folks, man. Not One Piece because that is trash. Everybody knows I'm the biggest hater when it comes to that. And
Oh,
yeah, yo, I be driving people crazy with that, bro. And
I don't have an opinion on that either because I haven't seen it. Like
listen,
I skipped it. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it looked goofy to me, which is why I didn't watch it initially. You know what I'm saying? It was between that and you know what I'm saying, seeing these dudes scrap over here and like just being left on cliff. Like DBZ just hit, man. It looked more serious to me, bro.
see DBZ hit different. And then I seen One Piece when it was on 4Kids. If you're not old enough to remember 4Kids, don't even argue with me. That's what I tell with folks, man. And everybody who grew up watching anime, they have a different take of what it was like growing up because back then some people had experiences where they got bullied for it. Mine was different. We actually enjoyed it. We actually profited off it too on top of that. What was your experience?
Just with anime.
Yes.
Yeah, so as far as I can remember, man, like I just thought it was just like the best way I could describe it is like I thought nothing of it. No one really talked about it at school. It wasn't as mainstream, and it was just something I watched. I don't think I ever got teased for it until like later when I really didn't give a fuck at that point. It was just more so like oh, you watching that anime shit? I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm watching. Like, what you mean? But before then, it was to me, it was just like watching cartoons or whatever. Like, I don't think I was ever dragged for it though, or anything like that. Only because I don't think people knew, and I wasn't really I really didn't dress in cosplay or anything like that. Like, what I picked up was just like drawing them. You know what I mean? And so my experience wasn't too crazy with like anime, but just seeing how it is now, where you know what I'm saying, people are, you know, or it's popular now. You know what I'm saying? Like you, like Demon Slayer just put up numbers in the theaters. Like this is something that's mainstream, and people are now seeing like, yo, anime is dope. So it's cool to see that where I'm just like, oh damn, oh, you know, y'all picking this up now. I've been knowing about this, but no, it's been good all around though, honestly.
Man, with it being popular, people are definitely exploiting the culture, especially when it comes to the convention scene. But we'll get into that in a minute, though. But what made you want to start drawing these characters and also making a career out of it?
Man, I've been drawing since I was a youngin'. So just watching DBZ and just honestly, like I say DBZ a lot because honestly, that's where I started my drawing career. Like just drawing the Super Saiyan hair. I remember just going on the school computer, looking up Super Saiyan 5, and they had the crazy, ridiculous Super Saiyans 100. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff I love to draw, and that's where I started drawing. And then eventually I just kind of branched into kind of making my own story. And like I just used to freestyle stories back in the day to where it's just like I'll just make a one shot of, keep in mind, like I wasn't professional or nothing like that, but I would draw on like notebook line paper and flesh out a whole story in my head. And that's kind of like I've since I can remember, I've always loved telling stories. And then eventually, it just never went away. So I just continued to up my game, got out of the notebook paper, started creating my own stories until yeah, I'm still doing it today. So this is for sure, man, like my passion. I love to draw. I can do this for free all day. Um, Obviously, you want to eventually start making money from it, which is why I'm hitting these conventions and selling my books and whatnot. So uh, yeah, man. But with this, you got to be a little crazy because it's a lot of hours I put in with my passion, but I'm also trying to be strategic with it as well as I get older and as I'm marketing it.
Yeah, and as you were talking about the Super Saiyan 5 and all that, I had a whole flashback going on to them websites, seeing all that, like, damn, where did all that come from? And then just getting into like the business aspect of it. And you said a lot of important things back there when it comes to putting in the hours and just even having the money to back that. How many hours had you put in before you even made your first story?
My first story, because we're talking about like when I was 10 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like my first story was like on again, like on line paper and shit like that. So I think let okay, let's fast forward to when I'm a little older and I'm like branching out, doing my own stories. I'm outside of the line paper. I think that would be a good timeline for me
Yeah, I
to
was going
start.
more
And
the published manga side.
oh, the published manga side, I
Yeah.
got you. I got you. So that man, the hours I put in that is like ridiculous. And then when the first time I did it, the finished product, it wasn't to my like it was good for me. It was an accomplishment for me because I completed my first manga, but there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And I think like for artists, it's kind of hard to take feedback or hear that your work isn't as good as you think it is. But I also think like it's important to hear that feedback. And I've always been like receptive to, just uh weeding out the bullshit and really getting to the authentic critiques that's going to help elevate my game. So um when I say like a lot of hours, I mean a lot of hours as in like I did a whole manga. There's tons of work to be done on this finished manga that I'm proud of. So I have to redo it in a way that uh, from the things that I'm learning. But then it's also like more hours being put into, well, damn, should I just start a new story or should I continue to improve what I'm already working on? It's always like that constant battle. So it's like, uh, it's a lot, man. If you want a specific number, that's gonna be hard. Like I know it's over hundreds, maybe thousands of hours I put into it, but yeah, man, it you got to be a little crazy, but I love it. You got to love it too. So
Yes, and kids and adults out there, y'all want to do this, you got to put in the work. So, this is the $1,000,000 question. What is your story about?
yeah, so one I've been working on is Raiden Tapped In. That's one I've just locked in on. Now, before that funny story, before that, the story was called Rayman, and this was when I was inspired by DBZ and whatnot. So I drew that was like my first character I ever drew. And he was an adult, and he had a mask on, no backstory or anything like that. And then as I got older, I was like, okay, let me make this more serious, more grounded. So I did that, and then I did a pre-time skip of it, and now we're at Raiden Tapped In. So essentially, what Raiden Tapped In is, it's based on the Ifa religion, and we're in this like warmongering world or this continent full of war, greed, and everybody in this world is essentially a demigod. So the theme is centered around human trafficking. Like I have a daughter, that's a very sensitive topic for me, and I feel like it gets glossed over a lot. But in this warmongering world, you have pretty much you have these foreigners siphoning the resources from this land, also trafficking the Nubians in this land, and essentially just using them as batteries, as tools of war, or worse. So where my story takes place is this tight knit village, and you're essentially not watching heroes. You're just watching these demigods survive in this world where like it's pretty much self imploding in a sense. So best way I could describe this story, it's like if the Boondocks and Game of Thrones had a baby, this is what you would get. And I say that because these are also just like other inspirations, but you have that political aspect to it, but you also have just these everyday kids like just kind of living their lives, and you kind of dive into this world of them having powers and them having to utilize their powers to protect their village from the outside world. So in a nutshell, that's what my story is about.
That is an incredible story. To even say the Game of Thrones and the Boondocks, two things are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. That is an amazing story. Where can people find that?
So it's on innerblazecomics.com. There's volume one is on Amazon right now. So there's a few spots you can get it, and Apple Books, I believe.
And with you having a new IP with new characters, nobody's never heard of you. How hard is it to get people to buy into what you're selling?
So when I go to these cons, it's not as hard as I thought. Since doing this, like I've sold over like 100 books of volume one, just kind of going to cons alone. So that's always like a good sign. And like what's also a good sign is me being the only mangaka at the cons that I attend. And that's Phoenix Fan Fusion or Sabaton Con. Like everybody does comics, but I don't see me personally, I don't see a lot of people, creating manga. And I think that's the vibe that people like when they see my book. It's read from right to left, and it's different. And it also feels good when people are also feeling the story as well. Because to me, like it's more than just illustration. Like me being a one-man army is like, all right, I can draw, but how well can I tell a story? And that's one of the reasons why I love anime as a whole, is because like when you talk about just Naruto and Death Note, Attack on Titan, like all these great animes, like I'm doing more than just watching it. I'm looking at a scene that hits, and I'm asking myself, damn, why did that scene hit so much? And how can I replicate that? And how can I evoke that same feeling in my story? So aside from drawing, I'm also learning how to tell a great story and get my point across. And that's why I love doing it, man. It's a lot. And again, that goes into your previous question as far as hours. It's like you're drawing, but you're also writing. And you're trying to tell a captivating story as the ones that we grew to love.
Yes, not only writing, you're editing, you're doing the publishing, you're doing the marketing, everything. It's just more than just drawing. A lot of people get that misconstrued and they wonder why like manga creators charge so much. It's a lot that goes into this. And when you were at these conventions, when you're telling the story, what was the reception like?
So, at a convention, you have to move quick. Like one thing I can't stand is when people drag on the I guess the premise of the story, or I try to set the elevator pitch. So essentially like what I told you, it's like, what's your story about? And I'm just saying, hey, it's about a bunch of badass kids in this warmongering world just trying to survive. So essentially, it's like if Game of Thrones and the Boondocks had a baby. And I'm telling you, like, I've been saying that for a long time, and people either laugh and they're like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the so essentially that's the pitch that I give them and it works. So I continue to do that. And because one thing they also say is like my stuff looks like the Boondocks, which is like, and I kid you not, like not gassing myself up or anything. I'm just telling you,
Nah,
just
gas
like,
yourself up.
um, nah, but this is like, I'm just being real. Like every time, every time I'm at a convention, I'm telling you, like 98% of people say, yo, this looks like the Boondocks. And that does my heart good. You know what I'm saying? Like to hear that from everybody who passes, I'm like, hey man, I'll take that. You know what I mean? Because the Boondocks obviously is, was in a league of its own at that time. And like for me to get that compliment, I see that as a compliment, whatever when anyone else sees it as, but like that does me good, man.
Yeah, and the Boondocks is definitely missed and needed in this day and age. And
Don't
in
get
the
me started.
in the introduction, I did mention that you are a convention owner. You do have an event coming up. When you were going to these conventions pitching your manga, at what point were you looking around saying, I could do this myself?
So I've been doing Phoenix Fan Fusion consistently for 5 years, I would say. And one, because like if I don't do it, I lose my spot and Fan Fusion's hard to get in. So I gotta stay in there. You know what I mean? They hike the prices or whatever. But um again, it goes back to me saying like I don't see a lot of people, a lot of manga creators. And those are the people I kind of want to see as far as like conventions go. Like before I even did a convention, I was, attending just as a guest. And that's the first thing I was looking for when I have my comment. I'm like, okay, who's doing what I'm doing? Or who's doing something similar to what I'm doing? What stories are out there? It took me 3 to 5 years to see like about 3 years to where it's like, damn, no one's really doing what I'm doing or telling my story. I need to get in here. So I got in there and you know what I'm saying? The first couple of years where, I didn't really make a profit or whatever, still learning things. And then it wasn't until like maybe the third year where it got where, I'm making a profit. And that's when I decided like I wouldn't mind doing this. Like this would be like kind of throw my own event, that would be dope. But back then it was just more so of like a nice to do. Like I don't have time to do it. But when you look at cons like DreamCon and these cons like you really want to get into, but it's kind of hard. I just thought to myself, damn, you can always use another con. People are always looking for other cons. So that's always been in the back of my mind. But it's like, how can I make mine stand out? How can I make mine different? And that's when I thought of creating just an indie con for manga creators. And this being my first event, it's challenging, man. For sure. It was like, again, you're coming from somebody who, writes, draws, publishes his own books. I'm all like, okay, let me see, how I can do a con. And word of advice, just for anybody listening, get some help if you can. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, a sense, like I'm not the I do all this stuff, but I'm not like saying, hey, I'm doing it. Like, get some help at the end of the day because like you can get there quicker with a team. And the reason why I do what I do is because like I have to. I don't have the funds to really uh what I'm saying, hire a staff or anything like that. And that's how I've been. So it's like either way, I'm gonna make something happen. But eventually, like I do want to get this help. So when it comes to EBCon, I do have, a few business partners who are helping me put this together. And yeah, man, that's a long-winded answer. But at the end of the day, like uh I decided I wanted to do EBCon because I don't see a lot of what I do and I want to see more of it.
I love that answer because you did something that's very important. You do need to have a team if you're putting an event together. This whole "I can get it all on my own," that's a whole bunch of bullshit. That mantra needs to die. You need to have a team because I work with conventions owners. I'm putting together shows now. This is very time consuming. You need a marketing team. You need people who are going to go out there and find vendors. You need guest. You need so much that goes on into it, and the cost of it is actually insane. Now, you said your name is EBCon. What does the EB stand for?
So EB stands for, I was just trying to find a name that kind of resonates with me. So Inner Blaze Comics is my brand. Blaze Entertainment is like my LLC. So I wanted to do something that was inviting, kind of lack for better words, like cutesy in a sense where, you know, it's inviting to everybody. So I did EBCon, and like it's essentially spelled like EEBEE, just to make it stand out as well. But essentially in short, it's Inner Blaze, EB.
And you said this is a con that's going to be focused on indie manga creators. How was it?
Yeah,
How was it trying to even just find these creators to get on board to come to this convention?
man, it's crazy how it worked out, man. Because again, when I started like saying like, okay, I'm gonna do a con, it was just me. And I knew I wanted to do it. I'm always like trying to challenge myself, man. Like I'm always trying to just, you know, branch and do things. But one thing I noticed is just from the accumulation of the cons that I've been to previously, the people that I've met, when it came to creating this convention, it almost just all kind of came together in a way that I never thought possible. And I had nothing but God to thank for that because, like, again, it's scary when you're planning an event. And for me, I know, like, I want to make sure that, you know, I have these people signed up. I want them to have the best experience. I want the people who are attending to have the best experience. Like, even though, like, I'm like, hey, let me try it out. If I'm gonna do something, I want to make sure I do everything I can to make sure this event hits. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be perfect, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. Like, as long as I optimize from there. But how this kind of together really was just the people that I met at previous cons, the you know my booth neighbors, and just being cool with just vibing with everybody. Like I didn't vibe with everybody, but the people that, you know what I'm saying, stuck with me, I stuck with them. You know, we support each other. It came together when it came time to make this con, to where it's like, you know, I have over 20 plus vendors. I have, you know, 3 food trucks, and it didn't all happen in a day. I think it happened in the span of like the years. So word of advice for anybody who's listening too is, you know, make sure you don't burn any bridges. And for me being an introvert, me I would honestly, bro, I would rather just sit and draw manga all day and not mess with anybody. You know, like that's just me. That's always been me, to where I just want to draw, push my stuff out. But sadly, that's not how it works, especially with the ambition I have, like the things that I want to do. I have to do the uncomfortable things. And I would have to say these uncomfortable things that I have done has made EBCon possible to where it's at now, which is it's pretty dope, man. It's dope. Like being taken out of your comfort zone has its rewards. And now I have 20 plus vendors. I have, you know, 4 keynote speakers that's going to be there. Anthony Piper of the Trill League series is going to be there. He was, you know, one of my favorite comics growing up. And, you know, to hear the updates on what's going to happen to Trill League in Hollywood, I got Kevin Phipps coming through with the Shadow Blade saga. He is, you know, he's working with Image Comics, and he's looking to, you know, get his script being pushed in Hollywood. And these are all people in the game. Like these are people who are seasoned. You know what I'm saying? I have Ken Brown from Drawn to Comics coming through, and he's the owner of Drawn to Comics, one of the biggest comic book stores, well-known comic book stores in Arizona. You know, he's going to do a panel on, you know, for people like me, creators who, you know, want to get their books in stores. And then I have Anthony Cutting from One Nation Manga coming through, and you know, he's the one who plugged me in the youth. Shout out to
Yeah,
Anthony.
shout out to bro.
But yeah, but he, you know what I'm saying? Like what he's doing, man. Like when I saw like him on social media, I was like, bro, like nobody is doing this. And like I just thought it was a dope concept. So, you know, he's putting together a panel on, you know, just how to, if you need help with your manga or, you know, social media or this or that, if you need help with the story, drawing, he does it all. And he's doing a panel you know, at Ebcon. So these are like heavy hitters, man. And for grinders like me, I know there's people out there who who has that ambition like me because one, I see it at the cons all the time. People come up to my booth and it's like, yo, man, like, you know, I want to get a table. Like, what do you do? How do you do it? This, and that. There's people out there who, you know what I'm saying, want to take that step forward, just like me. So, damn, here we are. I got keynote speakers ready to give you just like this organized, beautiful, give you this game that has been just kind of all over the place, but I have it organized into one spot, and that's Ebcon.
I like that. It's a each one teach one con. Come there, everybody who wants to go. Also, I didn't ask the location.
Yeah, it's at the University of Advancing Technology. It's 10 minutes away from ASU.
Everybody who wants to participate, even buy a ticket, fly out there, it will definitely be worth it. It's definitely going to be a learning and networking opportunity. Take advantage of certain things like this because not only do you get seasoned vets, you got up and comers, and also this is the most important. You got people from the East Coast going over to the West Coast, and you already know how that stigma was back in the day between the East and West. It's great to see us doing something together, and that is the most important thing. That's the most undervalued thing about this. And another thing that I wanted to ask: are you still looking for people to present? Because I might have somebody for you.
So it's a 4-hour event, and I don't want to overpromise, under deliver, and I also don't want to run out of time. So let's talk about that though, and see if we can work something out with that. I just want to make sure like he has the ample time to talk about what he's talking about, and yeah, let's link about that.
Oh yeah, no
I'm down
doubt, no
to
doubt. And
yeah.
what's the future for EBCon?
I see it as again, man. I'm a simple dude, bro. Like it all goes back to I just want to make money from my manga, and you know what I'm saying. Uh, get get a million hits each drop. You know, like that's the dream. So when it comes to things like EBCon, this is something I see as being an opportunity for creators like me to collaborate and make this into something grand, make this to something that's, you know, bigger than just me. Like I don't care to have the title like, oh, I'm the organizer of EVCon. Not really. I want to build a community to where, you know what I'm saying, almost like a board where we have creators coming together every year, like a 5 Kage summit. And you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's grinding, but let's get here and let's come to an understanding. Okay, what are we gonna do this year? How can we make our stuff pop at this next event? So the future of EVCon, I see this as a community event thrown by the community from, you know, people that, you know what I'm saying, understand the dream, see where it's going, and making this into something bigger, making this into the next San Diego Comic Con or Dream Con. That's the dream of it. But again, it goes back to like um, not wanting to do it myself, but finding a good team. And me trying to find people like business partners and all that, that's not easy either. Like you can't
Oh,
just saying, "Oh yeah, I want a business partner." Hey, you as much as it sounds good, that's never the case. You might find people who sounds like they understand that they want to be part of the dream and it ends up going left. But to find authentic people that you truly want to work with, that's something that takes months, even years. You know what I'm saying? And um, so that's how I see Ebcon growing is just finding like-minded creators like me who want to throw an event and come together, once a year after grinding out on whatever they're doing and throwing something for the people, for the indie creators and people who are looking to just build the next big three. Cause that's my goal too, man. It's like, we got the big three and um, I'm looking to just kind of start a new wave of, just new creators where there's more new hype surrounding it to where, just something fresh, something new, man.
yeah, we always need something new and fresh to the table. And like you said, man, you got to be careful who you do business with. It is definitely a learning lesson. You're gonna find out some folks is shady, some folks is gonna bullshit you. It's all in the game. You're gonna have to learn. And for you yourself, are you gonna be open to traveling over to the east, to the south, to spread the word of EBCon and then like vending at different conventions over here?
Hell yeah. That's for sure the plan. Um like me and my girl, we talk about this all the time, but like shit, man, I'd buy an RV, you know what I'm saying? We can travel and you know what I'm saying? Like long term, that would be the goal to get an RV to travel to all these cons and just promote Raiden tapped in and you know what I'm saying? I'd love to do that. But I'd say right now, before that goal, it's like just kind of ramping up for that. Like this year is probably the most cons I've ever done, which is good because usually I'll just do fan fusion. But man, this past year I've done like 5 or 6 cons, and that was more than past my goal. So I definitely like I see the value of going to these different, cons. And yeah, man, I definitely would love to travel and, go on your side and uh, just see what's out there and, you know, support support people like you and, people who support me. Like those are the people you want to make moves for.
Oh yeah, I definitely got you when you come over here, man. I definitely got a lot of events lined up. Jesus Christ. And for all the introverts out there, because it's funny how a lot of manga artists are introverted. I don't know if that's a stereotype or what. What is something that you could
Mhm.
say to somebody who is stuck in their shell and they're scared to step out?
You probably got a lot of dope shit that you're hiding, and the only way they're gonna see it is if you get up out that shell, man. Like for me, it's the same shit. Like again, I would rather just be at home drawing. Like that's so zen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're gonna, what I'm saying, make the moves that you want. If you want to see your stuff as an anime one day, like I'm not saying I'm there, but at the end of the day, like I know it ain't gonna be me just sitting here and not telling people. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do the things that make me uncomfortable or the things that used to make me uncomfortable, I would say. Right now I'm good, but you gotta step out of that shell. You gotta meet people. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Just baby steps, man. Just just come on. Just baby steps. I'm telling you, it's so worth it's so worth it, man. Because this is I'm talking about maybe a span of just like maybe 5 or 6 years where I was just like scatterbrained. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. I went to a con, and then shout out to Concrete Comics too because they kind of put me on this path of uh, getting my first table. And I just went up to them and I was just like, yo, man, like, I want to do this. Like, is it hard? How do you get a table? Because it's all fresh and new to me. They gave me some game. And from that game, I stuck with that. I got my first table and then it's just been up ever since. Like, I just been nonstop going to cons, and that got me out of that comfort zone of like, damn, you know, should I get a table or am I good enough yet? Or you know what I mean? Like I just did it. And then once I got my first table, it's like, okay, um, what can I do different? What, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I make this better and better? It's all about just optimizing, getting better, and you know what I'm saying? Like not being afraid to fail, man. Cause again, like I didn't get a table and everything took off. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's just like you gotta be just open to disappointment and being able to learn from that disappointment and flipping that and understanding, okay, that didn't work last year, what can I do this year? Or if you peep something that you really want to do, you know what I'm saying, do it. Just start formulating the steps and like executing it little by little. Like it's a lot, man. So for those who are in their shell, I'm telling you, man, get up out of there, because you got a lot of dope stuff that the world needs to see, that I want to see, which is, and this isn't just me talking, because I'm throwing Ebcon. Like I'm doing this for, you know what I'm saying, these people who have all this dope manga out, who have dope stories to tell. And like this is for you. And I'm telling you right now, like, get up out that shell, because indie manga should not be slept on, man. There's so much dope content out there. When I'm scrolling on all these like different platforms, it's like, man, why aren't people talking about this? Like, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? DBZ, Naruto, One Piece, obviously. Like, yeah, those are the OGs. I love it. But damn, man, there's so much dope content out there that, like, if we start our own wave and start pushing that, like, people are going, they're not gonna have a choice. Like, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, lean that way. But we have to, like, somebody has to put in the work. Somebody has to, you know what I'm saying, uh, step out that shell and do something different. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why EBCon is here. So to make sure, I'm trying to create more people who get out their shell like me, so we can make it happen. Period.
Yes, that was said, man. And also another key thing to remember, staying in your shell does not get you paid at all whatsoever. You have $1 million worth of ideas in your head, especially you, K. You know who I'm talking to, bro. You are one of the best artists, friends, and creators that I've ever met. You need to get out your shell. You gonna be better than all of us, bro. Everybody, don't worry about the negative comments. Don't worry about failing. All that comes. It's gonna happen. You just need to get out of your shell, get out your bubble, and you will never know who you'll meet. You never know what you'll end up doing. I never imagined that I'd be in this position right here. And before we get up out of here, what are the dates for EBCon?
January 24th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And also, I believe you if you cosplay, you get something for that.
Yeah, man, cosplayers, they get in free. Period. And we're throwing $100 cosplay contest. Who has the best drip? Dress to impress. Got a $250 esports tournament for Black Ops 7. So anybody who wants to game, it's not too late to sign up. Uh, yeah. And then, we got the keynote speakers, we got food truck, we got games, we got music. We're gonna have, an anime watch lounge. We're gonna have, a table celebrating just indie manga, and we're gonna have a few creators like myself there, who's gonna be, uh, the vendor. So yeah, check us out.
Listen, cosplay contest, gaming, esports, anime watch longs, networking opportunities. You got everything you need right here at this convention that is for us, by us. And before I end this, I always ask everybody what's their top 5 anime because it says everything about you. So, what are your top 5 animes?
Cool, man. That should be changing every day. Um, in no particular order, I gotta put Attack on Titan up there. That shit, it's overhyped, but it's so like it's worth the hype. Period. Long story short, it's worth the hype. So we got AOT, we got Death Note, um, one of the best suspenseful dramas I've ever watched. Like that has very little action, but that shit keeps you locked in. Just how they tell the story, I love it. Um, no, you got to put DBZ in there. I'm talking about old school DBZ. I haven't watched. Y'all gonna kill me probably, but I haven't watched Super only because I want to maintain the old school essence of Dragon Ball Z. Man, that was like goated. Um, and then what else? What else? What else?
Two more.
Two more. I'd have to say. I know I'm. Oh, Samurai Champloo up there for
Goated.
sure. Um, man, I know I'm missing a lot, man, because there's so much honorary mentions probably, but I'm gonna go ahead and put Afro Samurai as my fifth one
Oh, that's different. I like that.
because like that shit one, I feel like that's something that should have been ongoing. Like a lot of these shows, it's like the Boondocks honorary mention. That's an anime. But yeah, man, that was one of my biggest inspirations was watching Afro Samurai and just like the fact that you could count on your hands how many black animes are out there. Um, that one being goaded and just being left alone as it was, like that should for sure not be slept on if you haven't seen Afro Samurai. But like all 5 episodes in the movie, like everything's just perfect. Like so, yeah.
And it had one of the most underrated video games too. A lot of people don't even know or haven't played it too. Like, nah, I haven't
Yeah.
heard anybody even mention Afro Samurai. That was a solid list. Death Note, the ending on that one up for debate. Dragon Ball
Mhm.
Super, yeah, you ain't missing much. Just watch some cliff notes. But man,
Yeah.
I appreciate you joining me, man. I'm JG Collects. Everybody, make sure y'all follow Ebcon. And where can everybody find you on social media?
Ebcon, EEBEE Con, and Raiden Tapped In, all one word. Um, REIDENTAPPEDIN,
Is that
and
TikTok,
that's where I'm
Instagram?
TikTok and Instagram.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow them on all platforms. I'm JG Collects, and like that, I'm out.